Hello,
Hello.
everyone. Yes, we are here once again for the next episode of A Conversation with Kely. And guys, it finally happened after I don't know how many episodes of this podcast we did of us saying we were going to watch it. We finally watched the Traitors
Oh
season.
yeah.
We not only did we watch it, we completed it. We actually know how the game works now, and we have things to say about it overall. We're going to talk all about season one, especially, and I feel like this is like the best time to do so, considering season two literally comes out tonight, which we're
I
so
know.
excited for.
Well,
So yeah,
tomorrow for me because it's still January 11th for
yeah,
an hour and a half. But yeah,
yeah, yeah. We're filming this. We're filming this at like 1 a.m, as we usually do with these. But yeah.
yeah,
Before we do get into all of that, I'm here, my lovely, beautiful co-host Allie. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. I just worked all day for 10 hours, and then same with the rest of the weekend. But it was a good shift. It was kind of slow for most of it, but then the
Mhm.
last couple hours or so, it got a little steadier, which was nice. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited to talk about this season, and also we were going to do a combined podcast of like the Traitors US and Canada season one, but we were just like, let's just do Canada before the next season starts for that. So we're just doing just US.
Yeah, if you remember, it's actually really funny. We did a Canada draft and then we just never got
Yeah,
round to the season. It
I
just kind of got
know.
ahead of us. We were so busy with like orgs and stuff. It was like the worst time to have a traders season happening, so we just didn't have time. And the
Yeah.
funny thing is when this came out, it was around the time where we had friends getting married and like we were just kind of
Mhm.
focusing on that. So like we just weren't able to really focus on watching a season of the Traitors. So we finally sat down. And the one thing I will say in hindsight that's so funny about that draft is, my God, we had no fucking idea what we were talking about, because this game
It's so
is
funny.
very different than what I thought it was.
Oh, yeah. Like, we literally went in, like, we were just like, we know nothing about the game,
Yeah.
so it was just
Well,
so it was so fun, though, like, it was a fun draft, but and we will get around to Canada eventually,
yeah.
but I'm very happy
Yeah.
we at least got US done for sure before the season.
Technically, though, this is not my first time watching the Traders, because I watched the RHAP Traders like
Fair.
On Sunday, Saturday, whenever they did it. So that's technically my first time watching it. But this is like first proper Traders, and like I'll give my thoughts initially. But Ali, what did you think of this first season overall? I know it was our first time watching a full season. What did you think?
I honestly really enjoyed it, like, there are
Mhm.
obviously, certain things that were just very iffy, of
Yeah, it's
course,
not perfect.
which we'll talk about, but,
Mhm.
overall, it was a really strong season, and I definitely need to watch the RHAP mini. Need to watch that.
Oh yes, it's very
Like,
fun. It's very
I'm so
fun.
excited. But yeah, this season, I'm so glad we binged it. It was honestly a really fun binge this week.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to watch season 2. I'm excited for watching Canada's and maybe even the others at some point, like one day.
Yeah.
Not now, but
'Cause
eventually.
they're all on Peacock, like, Australia's there, UK is there, like, we have, we have accessibility to those, so it's like,
Yeah, we can like they're not long either, so we can easily just
no,
binge them whenever. And but it was such a great season overall. Like it was very strong, besides
yeah,
like a few little things, obviously, a
mhm,
few little nitpicks and hit or
yeah.
misses. But I mean, it was still really fun to watch, and it was just honestly like so unique too.
Yeah, especially I think knowing the outcome, I think this was a very fun season to watch, because like, we
Yeah,
already knew bunch of other things that happen. And so the one I think going in knowing that and seeing how it all played out was just really exciting to watch. Now I will say it's definitely not a perfect season. There's definitely some
yeah,
things that
agreed.
do hold it back for me. And for a little bit, I didn't know if I necessarily loved it, but I feel like the more it
Same.
went on, the more I really did start to love it. And
Oh yeah,
we'll just get
definitely.
into it. I think the first thing I want to talk about, because I mean, I'll tell you guys right now, if you're looking for a play-by-play of every single player, that's not fucking happening. And I'll say right off the bat
No.
why that is the case. This season is, and I don't know if this is the case for Canada or UK or Australia or New Zealand or like any of those. I don't know, Brazil. I think Brazil has one as well. There's so many different iterations. But um, this season is very top heavy in terms of like the reality stars that you know, like a Sari, like a Cody, like a Rachel,
Mhm.
Anvil, Kate from, Beyond Deck, and or what's that show called? Beyond Deck, is that
Below
what it's called?
below deck, yeah.
Oh, what did I say? Beyond Deck.
Yeah,
Below Deck.
getting
There we go.
close.
I knew it was some kind of B. I just didn't know what. But you know, yeah, it's very much focused around them. And because of that, the issue I really have with this season, and I think you'll agree with me, is that we don't really get to know a lot of the people in this season. I can't really tell you a lot, especially about people who leave before, I would say, episode 5. I
Yeah.
really can't tell you much about them because they just don't really,
Mhm.
it's not even that they don't have much of an impact, it's that they don't really give them much of anything to work with until they're literally voted out.
Yeah,
So,
literally, like, we know nothing about these people besides, like,
yeah.
Brandy, but, like,
Mhm.
like, anyone that left it, like, so early, we knew
Yeah.
nothing about, like, the person who gets called Bam, like, we were like, "Who's that?"
Yeah, even at the reunion, he was there. I'm like, "Wait, who is this guy?" I didn't even
I
recognize him. Like,
know,
"Oh,
and
yeah,
I was like
bam, you went out so early."
yeah, and then Geraldine, I'm like, once Christian said that they were, like,
Who's
a
apparently
thing
dating Christian now, so
yeah,
good for them.
yeah, good for them, but, like, when he mentioned that, I'm like, I don't remember her either, like,
Yeah.
she's someone we don't really know, so I'm like, I mean, good for
Yeah,
them for dating, of course, like, I hope they're happy and everything, but, like, um, I'm just like,
exactly.
a lot of these people we don't know, so it's just like, they were just so purpled, and we're just like, we only know about certain people, really, like, that's there's only a few people who have, like, a lot of airtime.
Yeah, I mean, I would say in terms of like the first couple episodes, the person we get the most of is probably Michael, and that's why it was a
Yeah,
little disappointing to see him go so early. But he
I
was a really
know.
fun. We'll talk a little bit about some of our favorites, and then we'll really get into because, like I will say right now, most of this will be about the Traders games, and I'll talk about why in a
Yes.
little bit. But in regards to a Michael, for example, I think he was a really fun to watch initially. I think that he was a really good, like, he's there for a couple episodes, but he was very prominent. People kept
Oh,
thinking
yeah.
he was a traitor and things like that, and they
Yeah.
weren't really sure just because of like his answers. I, especially knowing now that he was like all here for like Sari and Rachel and
Yes.
Stephanie. I mean, I wish he
Woo,
lasted a lot longer because I think
I
he would have been so
know.
good at the end game.
Yeah, I love at the reunion when he says he's, like, old school Big Brother, so he was
Yeah.
there for women, like
Hmm.
Rachel, and he obviously loves Sari and
Yeah.
Stephanie, so I'm like, we love that, like, so he's more of a team Rachel than a Cody, so I
Yeah.
like that he was more, like, team women. And
Yeah.
he was also very fun to watch too, like, I didn't even he wasn't, like, my number 1 favorite or anything, but out of, like, people that we didn't really know at all,
Mhm.
like, he was very entertaining and, I loved his
Yeah.
southern accent, he was just pretty iconic, and he was gone
Yeah,
too soon.
that's the other thing we didn't bring up. The weird thing about this season, and what I really think doesn't kind of work, I think it definitely is something I don't think they should do again, is it's half and half, where half of the cast is reality TV legends pretty much, and the other half are basically newbies. Maybe they've
Yeah,
watched these people for a while, maybe they haven't been on, some of them feel like they've never watched a reality show in their life, looking at fucking looks at Andy, for example. We'll talk about them in a little later. But you know, the issue really is that because of that, it's so focused on the reality stars. The people we don't really know, we don't really get to know. And I feel like Michael was one of those few people where it's like, okay, we knew something about him. Like we had a modicum of a story from him, like he was just kind of someone that didn't really get to show his true potential, but we at least got something from him. So,
yeah,
I liked that. So he was someone that stuck out to me, but someone like, say, an Azra, an Amanda, Angelica, even Shelby, who's banished in episode 7, I could not tell you a damn thing about any of them because they
same.
just don't give them like anything to do. Suddenly everybody's accusing Shelby, and I don't understand why. People are accusing it. People want to kill Angelica, and I don't understand why. It's just they really don't do a great job of getting you to understand. Even hell, even the people that are at the end of this season, Quentin and Andy. Now, I will say, in regards to Andy, there is a bit of an arc there. They talk about how they're a little bit more quiet, they're a
Yeah.
bit more reserved and things like that. It's pretty clear to me. This is just my opinion. I don't ever see Andy touching reality TV ever again. I don't
No,
think this is for them. I don't think they
not at all.
enjoyed it. They
Yeah,
constantly
they were
throughout
just
the
like
season.
they're just very emotional, and then they don't really like they're not cutthroat at all. Like they just
Well,
it seems like they don't really understand the game.
and I get that, but it's also like you knew what you signed up for. You knew that I assume they knew they were gonna be reality TV legends here. So it's like just play the game. Like don't get mad at somebody for
Yeah,
playing the game. And it feels like Andy did that. But at least they do have that arc of like, someone who was very, like I said, reserved and things like that, just kind of wanted to form genuine friendships with people. So we get that at least. Quentin, I couldn't tell you anything about. I could tell you that he's extremely off base the entire season in terms of
yeah,
his like guesses, but like I couldn't tell you anything about Quentin in terms of a story. I could, except for the fact he has a baby on the way. That's literally all I know about Quentin. So like there's
yeah.
really nothing there, and I
Honestly,
feel like that definitely hurts the season. That aside from the traitors that are new, I don't really feel like we got to know really any of the faithfuls that we didn't know
agreed.
beforehand.
Like Quentin was like a nice person, but that's like really all he was. He was
Is
just a
he? I don't
nice.
know. After the
I
reunion, I
mean,
don't know.
actually, yeah, he was definitely annoying during the
Yeah.
reunion. Well, a few of them, but like
After the
he was just
reunion, I
more
just think
like
he's a sore loser.
during the season, he was just like the nice guy. That's
Yeah.
it. And like,
Yeah.
but like, yeah, he was definitely him, Andy, Ari, and uh, who was it? Oh, Cody.
Odie.
Those 4 were, like, so bitter. They were
Yeah, we'll
like,
talk about
really
that.
being so sore such sore losers to Suri, which was, like, so
Yeah.
frustrating.
Yeah, so all around, it's just very hard to kind of talk about the majority of this cast. The few people I do want to talk about, and then we'll talk about the traders. We'll also talk about the format because we didn't really talk about the format. I'm sure people know the format of the traders by now, but just
Yeah.
because we haven't, we'll get into that. But the few faithfuls that we can talk about that I think we do get at least something out of. Oh, another person that like I literally forgot was there. Ryan Lochte, literally from Celebrity Big Brother, has nothing to do this season. Like I
Yeah,
literally
literally.
forgot he was there.
Mhm.
Like he contributed.
Honestly, if that's, like, the definition of a plot device.
Well, not a plot device, because he definitely. Well, actually, yeah, kind of, because he really
'Cause he was
is
just,
just.
like, there. He was just there.
Well, yeah, he kind honestly, yeah, the edit kind of does make him a plot device because he's just kind of there to like the only real impact he has all season is that he weakens Cody, but we don't even get to
Yeah.
really see that duo, so it doesn't
Mhm.
leave any sort of impact. Like when Suri wants to go for Ryan, it's like, okay, yes, Suri, we love you doing this, but it's because we like Suri. It's not because this is like a really great move. I don't know if this is a good move. I haven't seen enough of Cody and Ryan. So like
Yeah.
again, just someone that's like not on this show at all. The few people we can talk about though, one of the people that I thought was just so great this season that I really thought was cut so early and I wanted to see more of. I loved Brandy Glanville on
Oh,
this
me
show.
too.
I thought she was so good. One of the few faithfuls, we'll talk about the faithfuls in a little bit. Spoilers, they're terrible.
Oh,
But
yeah, so bad.
she's one of the only few to like have really good reads and like really pick up on, who could be a traitor. She's one of the only few that seems to be somewhat sus of Suri the entire time. Um, she mentions Cody as someone else that's on her radar. Like she was very much on point, and I was surprised that she ended up banished and not murdered because I thought she was going to go super far, but she was definitely I think the person that was cut too soon because I would have wanted to see a
Oh,
lot more from
definitely.
her. I think she was a really fun character.
Oh, yeah, Brandy Glanville's, like, reality TV gold, like, she's
Oh
just
yeah, between this
she's
and
very, like
CBB, yeah, get her on everything.
oh, yeah, she's, like, very smart and, like, strategic, but she's also,
Oh yeah,
like, she's literally just, like, main character energy, but I also say that about Rachel too, um,
yeah, we'll
and
talk about
literally,
Rachel in a
like
little bit.
yeah, but, Brandy definitely would give, like, villain vibes, kind
Mhm.
of, I think, and she was just oh, like, she would've
Well,
been so good if she
on this
lasted
show, I
longer.
don't think you're a villain unless you're a traitor, but yeah.
Yeah. That's true. Just like how direct she is too, and everything. It's just
She's
like
very
she's just.
assertive. She's very
It's like
assertive.
she gives her and Kate are very similar in that sense. They're both very direct, very blunt. Um.
And what a fun duo, they turned
Oh,
out to be.
I
I
know.
loved Rach I love that duo so much. Kate was someone I did not know before this season. She's one of the only people where, like, I didn't know her. I come out of the season, I fucking love Kate, like, get her on everything.
So
She's
good.
so much fun to watch.
Oh yeah. Oh, she was fantastic to watch. She was
Yeah.
like obviously at times she was like so over it. She's like, "Ugh,
Oh, yeah.
everyone's just using
Well,
me as a
she wanted to
scapegoat."
quit in the beginning, if you remember.
Oh yeah. She was literally like, "I know I'm just a scapegoat, blah blah
Yeah.
blah." Like she was just so done with everyone later on.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like, I mean, they were just constantly on, and I really can't blame Kate because, like, when you're someone who's just constantly the scapegoat and everyone's always piling on you, your name is just always in people's mouths. I too would just be like, I just want to fucking throw in the towel. And I like that by the end,
Mhm.
Kate was just like so done with everybody. She just like, I want to get to the bottom of this. Let's figure out the traitors. The fact that she got as far as she did is insane to me, but it
Literally.
really is just a testament, I think, to how terrible the Faithfuls were because she absolutely should not have gotten that far.
Oh, I know. She was I'm
But
so happy that she made it to like at least the finale.
yeah, I mean, she was just so great to watch throughout, and
So
I mean,
good.
you can't talk about Kate without talking about the most unexpected conflict of this season. I don't think in a million years I expected for Kate and Rachel to be the rivalry of this season, but
I
oh my
know.
god,
It's so
it
it was
was
like it's like literally just like petty like high school drama, but it
yeah.
was so reality gold.
And it started off literally, like, over, like, the dumbest things, like, over, like, like, clothing that Rachel was wearing, and it just kinda went from there, and just the back and forth between these 2 was so
Mhm.
legendary. I love that at a certain point, they both were just like, "Yeah, I don't think she's a traitor, I just really don't like her, and I want her out." Like, it was so great
I
to
don't even
watch.
like I don't even think they actually like hate each other outside. Like in the
No,
reunion,
I from the
like
reunion,
that's
I definitely picked up the
yeah,
vibe that, like, they understand why the other feels the way they do. They didn't seem to be, like, hostile towards each other. I could
like
definitely see
everyone
them
just
being friends
yeah,
eventually,
especially
but,
because
like
Rachel's just very like over the top, just as her personality, and then Kate's just very direct.
yeah. However, I will say not so much in this show. We saw a very different side of Rachel Riley here. Someone
We did.
who is, I wouldn't necessarily say mature, because Rachel is not necessarily the most mature person. She's always going to have that,
Yeah.
like, very childish personality within her, which is always fun to watch. I've always been a
Oh yeah.
fan of Rachel. I know she's definitely not everybody's cup of tea, but I've always really enjoyed her. And this season
Oh, me
really
too.
reminded me why I like her. I mean, she just puts like her whole heart and soul into this. She's so
She
passionate
does.
about everything. But what I liked about Rachel this season is that she stays relatively calm the entire time. And I think
Yeah.
it gets her very far. She doesn't rely on her emotions too much. She really
Mhm.
is trying
Well,
to
she was
play.
obviously she was very emotional the round she left, but that's just because she was
Well,
hurt and
I don't
betrayed.
really
But
blame her at that point because what are
same.
they even doing? You know, like it didn't make any sense whatsoever. And like I said, we'll get into that.
Mhm.
But I thought that she was just such a highlight this season, played very differently than I expected her to. The fact that they thought, though, that she was like this strategic mastermind by the end of it, it's like, this is Rachel Riley you're talking
Mhm.
about. Great social player, not a strategist. Like, never
No,
will be in any
she's
day.
more yeah, she's more like physical and social, not strategic.
But she's also more of an emotional player in terms of, like,
Yeah.
strategy. Like,
Oh, yeah.
she's never going to be, like, fully like, she's never gonna be this game bot of sorts. She's always gonna have her emotions. She's always going to
Yeah.
think that way. I mean, the way we see
Mhm.
her and Kate's back and forth really just shows that. But I thought she was just so much fun this season. I really like
Oh,
getting to see,
yeah.
like I said, this more sort of subtle, softer, more low key side of Rachel, and I thought it was really, really great to watch.
Oh, me too. Like I thought she was really fun to watch. She was definitely one of the
Yeah,
standouts for me, and I've always been a fan of her. Like obviously
yeah,
she's had
me
like
too.
very hit or miss moments, of course. Like,
Oh, yeah,
but that's just she just plays hard. But she does seem like a very good person though overall, and she
Mhm.
played so differently here, and like
Yeah.
I was very impressed by her, and really, and I was just like, I was sad when she left. I'm like, oh, she should have made the finale. Ugh,
Yeah,
but
because
she's,
she was one of the
she's great.
better faithfuls, I thought. Like, I think she definitely could have, like, figured out what was going
Yeah,
on.
definitely.
Not fully, because 'cause we'll get into that, but, I think that she was okay, and the only other person we're going to talk about in terms of the faithfuls, because I know you have a little bit more to say than I do, is Stephanie. She was
Yeah,
definitely a bigger character this season. She's again one of the only faithfuls that like actually kind of knows what's going on, actually seems to have an idea of what's going on. When they end up eventually getting a traitor with Cody, which we'll talk about, of course. She's very adamant about wanting to like put the pieces together.
yeah,
I thought that she was just a really fun I thought she was really fun for the time we had her here. I was honestly pretty surprised she went out the way that she did,
I
considering
know.
her and Suri were so close. But I get it that at that point it's like you need to keep Kate around for the traders. So I totally understand
Yeah,
why they did that.
mhm.
I was expecting her to make finale because it seemed
I
like
know.
she pretty much had all her reads in check. It seemed like she, understood for the most part what was going on, aside from, of course, the elephant in the room that nobody really knew what was going on, except maybe Brandy, I would say, is like the only person who came close to it. But yeah, I thought Stephanie was just really great this season. I liked her a lot. I really enjoyed her friendship with Suri as well. That was
Me
really nice
too.
to watch.
Yeah, they're
But
really
no,
they're kind
I know
they're
you
definitely
were
friends.
really excited for Stephanie this season. So what did you think?
Yeah, I love her and Cerie's friendship because they are friends outside of the game. But
Mhm.
um, but yeah, I was really happy for her. Like she did great. She kind of gave me just like dark horse vibes, and then
Yeah.
honestly, when she left, I'm just like, okay, this is just like kind of random. It's like very
Mhm.
abrupt. Like just because she wasn't really like
Yeah.
really targeted that much. But I mean, I get it. What I get the like strategy they were going there. But
Yeah.
she did
You
really
gotta
well.
murder someone that's, like, unassuming.
Yeah, definitely. Like, she still made it very far, and I was very
Yeah.
impressed with her, and,
Mhm.
um, she was just, like, the one who I was like, "Oh, yeah, I think she could win if she gets to the end," but, I mean, obviously, I already knew who would win, but, I mean,
Mhm.
if Cirie didn't win, I could definitely see her being a potential winner, as well, and
Well, her and the Faithfuls.
yeah. But yeah, I thought she did really well, and I
Yeah.
was really happy with her game, and
Yeah,
yeah,
she's great.
she was definitely one that was, like, actually, like, pretty smart and, like, knew stuff, and also I liked how, like, protective she was of Rachel and Cirie.
Yeah, agreed. I thought she was really great to watch on this season. I don't know much about her game in Palau. I'm sure you can elaborate more on that, but,
That's a season I did not watch.
oh, okay.
Yes.
Alright, so now, the two things I do want to talk about before we do talk about the traders is really the format of this game. We were so off in terms of how this game really works. Basically, the way it works is the format generally is that one, everyone who is a trader gets tapped on the shoulder. If you're a trader, that's how you pretty much signify that you are. And then
Mhm.
pretty much at the end of every single night there is at the end of every single night you get to murder somebody in the house if you are a traitor. And I really like the way they do the breakfast where like everybody comes out and you don't know who it's going to be. The breakfast seemed to be like a pretty consistent downfall for quite a few people this
I
season,
know.
in
It was
terms of like just
crazy.
opening their mouth and saying the wrong thing. We'll get into that. But I thought that, that format works really well. And then, of course, the way it works from there is they do so before they end up, going to the round table, they do a challenge. And this is the other part of this game that I just don't really understand. These challenges are mostly pointless. There were really only
Yeah,
a couple that I really ended up liking. I liked the touchy subjects type one they did with like the wheel. I thought that was fun. I enjoyed the one with like the bugs and things like that. That was kind of a fun little comp that they did. Um, the one with the bugs, like, it was really scary, but I thought that one was kind of fun what they did. It was kind of like pushing them to their limits, but like overall, these challenges to me, I thought were just completely pointless. All it really is doing is one of two things. You're either adding money to the prize pot, which is so stupid. Like, just have the money there initially. I don't really understand because, like, if they fail, do they not have the money? Like that's the thing that makes these challenges feel pointless is like what happens if they fail? Do they just like lose money? Like what ends up happening? It feels like they basically have to win because they don't know what's going to happen if they don't. And then they're also competing for for like they're in groups and then whoever's in one group, that's the group that can get murdered. I don't know. It just I wasn't really a fan of it. I feel like they're just here because they need a challenge every episode. And I feel like something they need to do in season two, aside from having a more balanced edit, which I think having all reality TV players in season two is gonna help them a lot. It's they're not going to feel like we have to focus on these people. We can kind of focus on everybody. But also like make these challenges feel more purposeful because right now it just feels like it's here to pad out the runtime.
Yeah, definitely. Like yeah, honestly, these challenges, like they were not like the worst to watch.
Yeah,
Like they were fun and everything, but like they were just very pointless. The only one I was really invested in was like the one that was like touchy subjects.
yeah, I like that one.
I like that one a lot. That one was fun, but like the others were just like, really, what's the point of this? Like what was
Yeah,
the point of the one where they had to jump out of a helicopter?
yeah, that was weird. I don't know what the point of that was because like at that point you already have like I get it they had like the full prize pot, but like again, I don't need competitions to add money to the prize pot. Like just have the
Yeah,
money there initially, you know? Like
exactly.
I
And
think it should be like who can get banished. That would be more interesting.
exactly. And also, we do not stand StreamYard when it makes my video all messed up.
I don't know what you're talking about because they're not going to see that. But anyway, but yeah, overall, I enjoy the format quite a bit. I especially like the roundtable. A lot of people have talked about this. It kind of feels like a Survivor tribal council, but without Jeff asking the questions. It's very open forum. It's very much like
Yeah.
they get to say what they want, and it feels a lot more natural. I feel like as the season went on, the roundtables became more and more exciting to watch, and I
Mhm.
really did enjoy them, particularly
Oh
Rachel's
yeah.
roundtable. I thought was a big highlight for me. I really enjoyed
Oh
that one
yeah.
a lot. So yeah, I really do enjoy the format of the show. I also forgot to say, Alan Cumming, fantastic host. I love the
Oh, he was
theatricality he
great.
brings. I love the just again just the I love just how like elaborate he goes about it. He's such a fun host to watch. He's very like
Oh yeah.
the theatrics, the emotions, the passion. It's just all on display, and he's just really fun to watch. So I
Oh
really
yeah.
enjoyed him a lot too.
Yeah, honestly, like his passion was just everything because
Yeah.
you really can tell how much he loves doing this show
Hmm.
and like everything he puts into it and just yeah, the creativity and
Yeah.
just everything. He's honestly so fun to watch and
Yeah.
I
He's
was
great.
really impressed with him as a host and so
Yeah.
good, so entertaining.
I was hoping we'd get like some of his insight in the reunion. Maybe that's
Yeah,
something they're going to change in season two. But like, I feel like we didn't get. Wanted to see like his insight on the players and things like that. Because aside from his reaction when Suri wins, we
yeah.
really didn't get to see that, and I really
I
wish we did
know.
because that would have been
Me
fun.
too.
Um, But yeah, other than that, I think the only other thing to really talk about before, like I said, we dive into our traders here, is that the faithfuls this season are mostly useless. They're all
Yeah,
terrible at this game.
so bad.
Like a lot of them, like I said, aren't that fun to watch, and they're also not that great at the game. I don't really enjoy, there's so many points where it's like, no, why do you think it's this person? Like Quentin's always thinking it's Kate. Quentin's always thinking it's Rachel. Like you have Kate always suspecting that Rachel's a traitor, or eventually suspecting that Rachel's a traitor. You have Andy constantly denying that, oh, it can't be Suri, it can't be Christian, it can't be like always just literally just canceling out any traitors whatsoever. Like most of them are just
Oh,
terrible this season,
honestly,
and it
and
was
then
just kind of it was just
yeah,
very annoying to watch, just
I
seeing
will
like just
say,
how
like,
off base they were.
yeah, Quentin was such a nothing person, like game player, and like he literally always had the wrong like guess. And then
He had the
Angelica was
worst reads. Yeah, I don't think he voted
yeah,
correctly once all season.
And then Angelica was just, like, such a horrible player. Like, she was nice as a person, like, she seemed very kind and just, like, she seemed like a sweetheart, but, oh my god, she was frustrating to watch. Like, there was one point she's just I think didn't she say something like, "I don't wanna vote for any of y'all," or something like that? I'm like,
Yeah.
I think it's part of the game, girl."
Yeah, it was just very it seemed like there were quite a few people that were like that, where they just didn't realize they were playing a game. They just kind of wanted to bond with everybody, and it's cool. If you want to do that,
Yeah,
go on Kate's show. It's called Below Deck. It's not really a show where you vote people out. You can do that there. Here, you're here to
honestly,
play a
just
game. You're here to win money.
honestly,
Like, what are
you
you
know what?
doing?
Honestly, just go on Kyle's show, Summer House.
Yeah. Oh
You
yeah,
can just
that too.
vibe.
Kyle was also gave us like nothing.
Dude, I know,
Kyle
he
was
was
another
so
one. I don't
nothing.
remember at all. But
Go girl, give us nothing.
yeah, but yeah, overall, like I said, aside from a couple faithfuls, they're mostly useless here. So now I think we should just go ahead and talk about the traders on this season because they actually do give us stuff to talk about.
Yes.
Like I said, the season is very trader heavy. The faithfuls aren't really giving us much. The traders really do deliver this season. And I think we're just going to go in order of when the traders ended up going. So we're going to start off talking about everyone's favorite, Mr. Cody Calafiore himself. Look, I've had my grievances with Cody. I've said it before. I don't really like him as a person. I think he's just very spiteful and kind of full of himself. And I mean, the reunion shows this best. Like when you can tell he's mad at Suri. Like he's saying, "Oh,
Yeah.
you backstabbed everybody," and he wants her so badly to say, like, "Yeah, I cut you," when like she didn't backstab anyone. Because here's the thing with Cody. Cody starts off, and I thought was actually a pretty decent trader. He was actually doing
Yeah.
a really good job. And then he just fucking, I don't know what happened, but Suri wanted to go for Ryan, and he just went off his rocker after that, starting
Mhm.
to like just say way too much and really just put himself in this position where it didn't make sense to what he was saying. Um,
Yeah.
and it just kind of went downhill from there. I mean, him actively pushing for Rachel and things like that, him actively like just making up all these lies about people. It was just so bad for Cody. And I was really happy when he ended up going. I do
Me
love what he
too.
said about Suri on the way out. But again, I don't like how he talked about her in the reunion. I've said this for a while.
Oh,
I feel like
no.
Cody covers up his arrogance a lot on like through TV edits, and then when you see him in person or in interviews, that's the real Cody. That's who you're actually
Mhm.
seeing, and I think that
Yeah.
very much showed here. So yeah, I mean, I didn't enjoy watching him this season, but I very much did enjoy his downfall, and I thought that him as
Yes.
a trader was very interesting to watch. And also, can I just say, him saying that him like backstabbing and being deceiving. You literally fucking did that on Big Brother 22. So don't tell me that
Mhm.
you've never played that way before. You literally did
Yeah.
it your whole season. So shut up with
Definitely.
that. But anyway, yeah. What did you think of Cody overall on this season?
Um, I will okay, I'm not even really a fan of him at all. Like,
Oh
okay,
God, no.
he does have some okay moments at times, but, like, this man is just very full of himself.
Yeah.
He's just very cocky, super arrogant, just acts like he's all high and mighty, and he's, like, literally the definition of a frat bro.
Yeah.
Like, he's always, like, for the men,
Yeah.
and it's like, come on, he's such a meninist.
Yeah.
And, like, I didn't like how he talked to Suri at times, like, that one moment.
Especially the reunion.
Oh, and of course, yeah, like,
And also how he was talking, like how he got all defensive when she wanted to go for Ryan. That
yeah,
was also like,
that's what I was talking about, like, I did not
yeah,
like that. And then
no.
obviously he was so bitter at her at the finale, which was just disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, sure, Cody, whatever you say. Like, he's just such a hypocrite too, and it's like, oh
He
my
is.
god. So it's like, yeah, he
Yeah.
had some moments, like, at
I
the
loved
beginning.
Michael reading him to filth at the reunion and
Oh,
just being
so
like,
good.
"Are you like working with like the brainless women and the same alpha males the whole time?"
Yes, King, slay
That was
him.
great.
That was so good. Um, but yeah, he did have some good moments early on, like as a trader, he was fine there. But then I loved his downfall. I was so
Oh
happy
yeah,
he left there. Um, he's just like he has his moments, but I'm just not a fan of him. I can't. He's just no, he's just too cocky for me.
yeah,
He's not my cup of tea. Yeah. he was just very hit or miss.
Yeah. So I'm done talking about Cody. Let's just move on to the next person. I don't
Yeah,
need to see Cody anymore.
we don't need to talk about him or like or his brother anymore.
No, but the person I do want to talk about, someone I was surprised I liked as much as I did, because I was fully expecting to not like this person, and by the end I really did actually. Let's talk about Christian. So yeah, Christian, I mean, I think it's safe to say probably played the worst out of all the traders. Like
Yeah.
consistently was just so bad. Started off just way too high and mighty, just I think the power just really got to him. And I
Yeah.
don't necessarily blame him, because when you're put in that position and you're making all the calls, and especially with like how bad the faithfuls were and how kind of dominant the traders were, I can
Yeah.
understand why he felt that power, but like you need to do what you can to lower your threat level. And he just consistently just put himself in like the worst position possible. He's always trying to make all the calls. He's always trying to like, go for certain people. And my God, what he did at that one breakfast where he tried
Ugh.
to make this whole spectacle of, oh, I was recruited and I said no, even though he was literally shocked when Ari was alive and things like that. And just
Mhm.
he was acting like, something was up. It was just not convincing at all. If you're going to do that, your previous reactions need to fit in line with that narrative, and it did not at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
And that just completely sunk his game. Like I said, the one thing he has over Cody is that he seems like a generally like nice person. I
Yeah.
loved that in the finale, like he was really like praising, or in the reunion, he was really praising Suri. He was saying that like,
As he should.
she's great at like getting close to people and things like that. Like this is what she does, and that like they all fell for it. Like I just really like seeing that, especially the contrast between him and Cody, who I don't think they liked each other at all. Cody was actively gunning for Christian until he became a traitor. I think it's like, oh, I gotta work with this guy. But yeah, overall, I just really wasn't that big on Christian. He just really didn't. I mean, but no, overall, like I said, I was surprised by how much I did like Christian by the end of things. I think like I said, he's a generally nice guy. I think the power just really got to him. And by the end, there was no saving him whatsoever. People tried, like Suri tried, but there was just literally nothing they could do by the end, because he was just such a mess. So yeah, overall, really enjoyed him. Honestly, would be down to see him again in another show. I think he
Oh
definitely
yeah.
has like a really big personality, but I think he just has this need to, I think, just kind of, I think he has the need to like want to be in control and want to be like in like the center of things, and he
Yeah.
wants to be in this dominant position, but he just isn't really that great at it. Like that's the thing. He's not good at hiding his threat level, and I think that's what really hurt him here. So like easily, I think the weakest of the traders.
Definitely. Like I really liked him as a person. Like he seemed very fun, very silly, just like a really all around great guy, like very
Yeah.
genuine and like basically the opposite of Cody.
Yeah.
um but like I do really like him as a person, but yeah, game wise like he had his moments, but he was not great either. Like he
No.
was definitely the weakest trader wise. And oh my god, what he did at that breakfast was so bad. It was literally his downfall for sure. Because everyone's like,
Hmm.
everyone was literally sketched out. Like, I don't know what he was trying to do. Because like he thought he did like some big move, but he didn't. Because
No.
literally everyone was just like sketched out and thought and found him like shady after that. They're like, what the fuck? Like they're all just like, yeah, I see a shader, which obviously was right. So like,
Yeah.
but he was like great, and obviously we love that he was praising Suri at the
Oh,
finale, which was amazing, or at the reunion, which is amazing, and
I know. I
uh,
keep saying finale too.
well, it kind of was in a way,
An
but
extended finale. Yeah.
but anyway, like overall, great guy, and he has his moments, but definitely like someone who'd probably do a little better on his like a second chance, or if he was
Yeah.
just like on a different show, he'd probably do really well. But yeah, I liked him overall.
Yeah. Definitely. All right, let's get to the person that I really just don't want to fucking talk about, to be honest with you, because this person just really annoys me. I was liking this person for a bit, and I'll talk about them, but let's talk about the fucking where is this person? Let's talk about the recruit himself, fucking Ari. Okay, so full disclosure, I don't watch The Bachelor. I know nothing about this guy on The Bachelor. Apparently, from what people said, he was kind of a piece of shit. He wasn't
Yeah,
likable. He
that's what
was
I
someone
heard.
that a lot of people just didn't really enjoy watching. Not shocking to me because it's The Bachelor and a lot of them just turn out to be like kind of like psychopaths, but yeah,
Or
Ari,
just
I
or
was
either
liking.
like either psychopaths or just assholes.
Yeah. But Ari, I was liking for a bit. I will say in the beginning, he's yet another person that just had very little edit. I feel like I didn't know really anything about him. I kept forgetting he was there. To be honest with you, for the first couple episodes, I was confusing him and Reza because they just look kind of similar to me. So I was like getting mixed up between the two of them. I'm like, why is Reza still here? Oh yeah, that's Ari. But then when he got recruited to be a trader, he obviously starts to have a much bigger edits. And I really liked what he decided to do with it. He took full advantage of it. He really forms this strong duo with Suri, really ends up being the only trader that's like relatively calm, doesn't try to make like a crazy power move or anything like that. And that really ends up working out for him. He, gets all the way to the end. And then at the last second, just because, and at first you think, okay, he's quitting the game because he doesn't think he deserves it over Suri. He thinks Suri deserves it more. And I was like, yes, we love Ari for that. That's great. That makes perfect sense. He didn't want to, he didn't want to have to split it with her because, I mean, in all honesty, I don't think Ari deserved it because he wasn't a traitor for that long.
Exactly.
So it doesn't really like he didn't really have to do much of anything. So I don't really think he deserved the money, especially not as much as Surrey, which we'll talk about in a bit, obviously.
Mhm.
But you know, then we find out that the reason he did it was because he thought he didn't like the fact that Suri broke their deal and that she was then targeting people and that she was trying to get him out and he wanted to leave before she could. And yeah, I don't like this guy at all now. Just the things that he was saying at the reunion and how butthurt he was over the fact that like, oh, I was betrayed. I still had to work really hard. I was still a traitor. It's like Rachel said it best. Like, you don't get special credit for being recruited to the traitors. You were a faithful for a while. You put in as much work as everyone else. Like, you don't get special credit just because you were a traitor by the end. Yes, you were a traitor, but you didn't have to do all the work that Suri and Cody and Christian did. You just didn't. You really just
Mhm.
didn't. You could sit back and you could watch the chaos unfold. That was his game. And just the way he was so incredibly smug and just honestly probably seemed the most mad at Sari out of everybody, which was like really shocking to me. It just
Yeah,
really made me not like this guy. So yeah, I
same.
liked him for a bit. I enjoyed the friendship he had with Suri, but by the end, I could not stand him at all. I do not want to talk about this guy for much longer. But Ali, go ahead.
Yeah, he was just very, like, hit or miss for me, like, he had some good moments, like, when he was a faithful, he was, like, fine, like, he was actually one that had some okay moments, and then when he became a traitor, I mean, yeah, he was fine, I guess, but, like, obviously, like, I just I was so annoyed and pissed off that he actually, like, just quit there, like, come on, it's just don't be a sore loser, just you're trying to play a game, like, try and fight to stay, try and fight because, like, it was supposed to go to a vote, a round table, like,
Yeah,
try and fight to stay, don't just quit, it's so stupid, like, you're just being bitter and you're being a bitter, sore asshole, like, come on, and,
yeah.
like and then obviously how bitter he
They could
was
have easily like gone for Quentin there.
exactly, and then how, bitter he was with Quentin, Andy, and Cody at the reunion, that was just so annoying.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not really a fan of him at all. Like, yes, he had some moments, but overall, he was just kind of like really, really disappointing. And like oh god, like, and what I obviously heard about The Bachelor, like I heard he's kind of a piece of shit.
yeah.
So yeah, Not really a big fan of him.
Yeah, let's just move on and talk about just the person that everyone's going to remember. Because honestly, a lot of these people are relevant. Like, to be honest with you, a lot of these
Oh,
people
yeah.
are relevant. There's no way in hell we do not look at this season as the true Suri Fields steamroll. Because here's the
Yes.
thing. We just talked about Big Brother 25, and part of the reason I was so excited to watch this season was just to see, how Suri was going to do and things like that. But also knowing that she had won the Traitors, I mean, that had me that much more excited to see her in 25 and see her just crush that game. And yeah, I mean, there's no way you can look at what she did here and not call her just one of the greats to ever play. Like, what she's able to do here is unprecedented. The way the entire game, there were so many people who were actively vouching for her and actively saying that, like, oh, Suri wouldn't do that. Suri's good with us. Suri has made it clear that she has our backs. It's just a testament to how great of a social player she is, because I think
Oh,
something
yeah.
Suri did really well is make these genuine connections with people that she actually really liked. Like, she had a friendship with Andy, she had a friendship
Yep.
with Ari, she felt good with Quentin, she felt really good with Stephanie. She even feels pretty good with Kate. She keeps Kate around because Kate is constantly being thrown out as a possible traitor, and
Yeah.
actively make sure she keeps her around so that way Kate doesn't end up going. She, instead of vouching for Cody or Christian, just kind of lets them be chaotic. She never says no to any of their plans unless it's something that she actively doesn't want to happen. The only time she does say no, in fact, is the Ryan vote. She's very adamant about, I want to get my way here. I want to get him out. And she does actively push to get out Ryan, and she does end up doing that there. Um, and yeah, I mean, just such a masterful game all around from her. The way, like I said, that she was just consistently in this fantastic position throughout the game, where there barely anybody was seeing her as a traitor. Barely anybody was seeing her as someone to worry about. Hell, the fact that she gets to the end and they still believe that she's a faithful and that she's on their side. And the only time she has any sort of worry, she's able to play it off so well by, again, just getting them back on her side. The only time she has any real danger is when she basically said that, like, she wanted to be a traitor. And I think it was again, I think it was Andy or Shelby who was like upset with that. I don't remember who, but yeah, I mean, just such an incredible game from her here. Watching her just completely dominate from start to finish and nobody really recognizing it. And then those that do, their reactions to it. Listen, Quentin and Andy can say all they want. Ari can say all he wants. Cody can say all he wants. But, like, she ran the fuck out of this game and they just got outplayed. Like, that's literally what it was. Like, yes, they were able to figure out Cody. Yes, they were able to figure out Christian, but they weren't able to figure out Suri. And Suri, I mean, just the fact that she was never on any of their minds as a possible traitor. It's just so impressive how she was able to play this game. I mean, as someone who only has watched her in Big Brother 25, even though I haven't seen her Survivor seasons, I felt how important this win was for her, how significant this was. She's fought for this for so long, and her wanting to be a traitor, and again, her just coming in and just dominating, having just running circles around everybody, around, yes, a cast that really isn't that great in terms of faithfuls, but again, the way that she was just consistently dominating the entire way through, it's just so impressive to watch. It's probably one of the most impressive games in any reality show that we've covered, to be honest with you. The fact that she, again, um, every time was able to get out the people that she needed to get out and put herself in this position to where she could be the sole traitor, even not even breaking her promise to Ari, where there were points where I was like, okay, Suri and Ari are good, but then she breaks her promise to him. I thought it was just such a great move because it's like, yes, she needs the money more. This is how she does it herself. And she absolutely did that there. Like I said, the way that she let Cody just go, the way she let Christian just go, didn't try to save them, realized that there wasn't much she could do. And I think the most impressive part of it all is, yes, she played the game like a traitor, but she also played it like a faithful, like she was very low key with what she needed to do. She was very good about trying to throw out decoys and really kind of putting ideas into others' heads of why this could be a traitor, why this is someone we need to worry about, and never actively pushing her agenda, but also making sure that it was pushed subtly without the other person knowing. I think she just did
Mhm.
so well here.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I said, just the amount of control, the amount of skill she had, just hats off to her all around. Such an incredible game. And there's no way we will look back at this season and not see it as just the Suri domination season, because we absolutely should. Just
Oh,
so
yeah.
impressed.
I know, like, mostly everyone, did not ever suspect her,
Yeah,
besides, like,
really just
Brandy a little.
Brandy.
Besides
Brandy was the
Brandy,
only one.
literally just besides Brandy a bit, it was just no one else suspected her as a traitor. That's
No.
because, like, she was so low key, and then she obviously had such good relationships with everybody. She's, like, such a
Yeah.
great social player, so strong, and she, like, really just gets into those connections with everybody. So,
Hmm.
it really just, like, makes them trust her and
Yeah.
makes them think that she's a faithful, and she's so oh, she's just amazing. She's so strategic too. Like, she's always like, she's not just social, but she's, like, super strategic too with all of her moves, and I loved when she turned on Cody. So good. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Suri ever says to you, I don't know, watch out, you're going.
Mhm,
Those are the
exactly.
three words you don't want to hear.
And, oh, she's just fantastic. Like, literally, this is her season
Oh, yeah.
because she's just like the star. She's just that good, and she truly deserved this win. And like the four people who were bitter, sore losers at her was can just go away because that was just so
Yeah, they
rude.
can touch
Like,
grass.
they can, yeah, literally, they can eat some shit
Yeah.
for that. And everyone who was actually praising her loved them. They were actually nice. Um, but yeah, so she's so deserving. Like, she just always kills it. Literally, her track record is so good just because she is that good. Like, her skills and just everything is just fantastic. And I was so proud of her this whole season, and I'm so glad she won. Um,
Yeah.
and like, there's
I
only
don't
a
think
bit
anyone
of,
else was deserving, to be honest. No one
yeah,
was deserving except Suri, because she was just
exactly.
that good.
Oh yeah, and she's just fantastic, and oh, she just kills it every time. Love
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. And I mean, listen, do we love steamrolls? No, but with this cast, yes, we do. And I think
Yes.
Suri just perfectly understood how to just completely dominate, and she just killed it.
Yeah.
So
She like
yeah, all around.
she actually knows how to be a traitor.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean it's what Cody said, and I will never credit Cody in a positive way again. But the one thing I did like that he said is, he said Suri is setting a precedent for how to play as a traitor. And yeah, I think
Mhm.
that's something that we're
Yep.
definitely going to see in season 2. I think Suri absolutely has set a real precedent here,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
think moving forward, with such a strategic, I think a lot more of a strategic cast, coming into season 2, I think we're going to see a lot different of gameplay, and I'm really excited to
Oh,
see
yeah.
how it all
I'm
plays
so
out.
excited.
But yeah, overall, really fun season. Definitely, there's some stuff I think they need to fix. Like I said, the challenges, having a
Yeah.
more balanced
Yeah,
edits.
definitely that.
Um, the faithfuls just consistently being Ron, it can get repetitive for a little bit. I think once Cody goes, that's when it really kicks into gear for me. And then it
Yeah,
really just
definitely.
kind of never stops at that point.
Mhm.
But overall, I had so much fun with this season. There were a lot of fun personalities, a lot of really great dynamics. And again, just seeing Suri get that win just made it so much more satisfying. So A minus for me. Very fun season overall.
Yeah, I can't go higher than an A minus either. Just that's what I give it as well.
Yeah.
Just because obviously Cerie's win is everything.
Oh, yeah.
Just obviously the things with like the faithfuls being just being so repetitive with that and like being wrong, and obviously the
Yeah,
challenges.
so
Oh,
consistently wrong. Yeah.
yeah, basically those I have like the same issues as you, honestly.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the only things like obviously the balance cast, all that stuff. Like
Mhm.
just hopefully it just like hopefully they just fix those up after in the next few seasons, like season 2, and then if they have more. But
I'm sure they will.
but yeah, definitely A- for me. But it's still a great season overall, and I had a lot of fun, and I am so excited for season 2.
Yeah, I mean, with that said, let's just get into season 2 right now. So, the one thing that we didn't know until recently is that it's actually going to be weekly this year. It's not, they're not
Yes.
dropping the whole season at once, which means for a little bit, we'll actually have a show to cover on a weekly basis, which I'm very happy
Yeah.
about. So, we'll be covering the first 3 episodes on Monday, and from there it'll be weekly. I don't know what our schedule is going to look like from there, but we will have to see. It's
Also,
dropping tonight at 9
I will
PM
say,
Eastern. No,
I had an idea. We could do a little draft if you wanted to.
we did.
Oh, for this one?
Yes,
Oh
we
wait.
did.
Oh yeah, we did because of
We
the
did
we
it for
did
Canada
Canada.
and for this. Yeah.
Right, we did Canada and US. I have to go back and watch it. Who like I'm trying to remember who we picked.
Yeah, it was like forever ago, but yeah, we did do a draft. I totally drafted all 4 of Dan, Janelle, Sandra, and also Parvati. I drafted all 4, so you can, and
Oh
that's
yeah,
that's just how it's gonna
I
be.
think
Check the tapes, but
no, I'm pretty sure I drafted Parv at least.
I'm making a joke.
Oh right, yeah. We need to go back and actually look at our draft there.
Yeah, but yeah, very excited to cover this season. Just such an incredible cast. I feel like the vibe is just going to be so different this time around. Like having especially Sandra, Parvati, and Dan there, 3 strategists who I don't
Oh,
know who's going to be a traitor, but I one of them has to be. One of them has to be
oh
one
yeah.
of the traitors. Like it just has to happen. And if
Honestly,
they're not,
I will
that's
say
gonna be
I feel
such a
like
surprise.
Sandra and Dan give traitor vibes for sure.
Oh, yeah, that's why I also very much worry for them, but I also think they're good enough players to weasel themselves out of it, so we'll have to see. But,
Yes.
um but yeah, overall, very excited for season 2, can't wait to see how it's gonna go. It should be a
Obviously,
very fun time.
oh yeah, obviously my winner pick is Mr. House of Commons himself.
Oh, yeah, as it should be for everybody. I can't wait to see, wait, you're not rooting for Michael Jordan's son? Come on.
Uh, That's so good.
Yeah, I'm like I
Um,
said,
uh,
I'm very happy
well,
this cast is
actually,
all celebrities and reality stars, because I think it's gonna turn out a lot better than some of the people in season 1.
I'm rooting for the boxer. No, I'm kidding.
The boxer guy, yeah. Um, I don't think we're gonna have any Quintins or Andys or like anything like or Aries on this cast. At least I hope
Yeah,
not. I hope this is a really fun group of people. And I hope that's what we're able to get here. So we will have to see how this turns out.
so
Before we
excited.
do wrap this up, anything
Like,
else you want to say?
yeah, I'm like so hyped for this season, and like this
Oh yeah,
cast is just so iconic. I mean, like the ones I obviously know, and then I'm excited to see the others too because I'm just excited because I
yeah,
feel like these people will actually like I feel like all of them are gonna have hopefully they all bring something to the table. Like I hope
yeah.
some people are not purple, but you never know. I'm just hoping it's this really strong season and
My
I
man
can't
John
wait.
Burkow, bring home the win. Let's go.
Oh, it's so funny. But yeah, we're
There he is right there, right in the corner.
it's so funny.
Look at that scowl. He's just so like serious. He's so excited to be there. He's like, I'm taking this one seriously.
That's so funny. But yeah, I'm so excited for this season, honestly, and so good.
Yeah, can't
But
wait to
yeah,
see how it all
so yeah,
turns out.
we're gonna be doing the first 3 episodes, obviously, because it's gonna
Yeah,
be the first 3. We're gonna do those.
yeah.
We're gonna cover that on like Monday, and then obviously
I'm
the
very
rest.
happy it's weekly because I'm this is
Me
definitely
too.
a show that I definitely would like to cover week to week. So,
Same.
especially with this
Especially
cast.
with this cast, like, damn, we need to. I'm so glad the rest will be weekly.
Oh yeah, they said we need to savor this gift. We're not going to, just give it to you all at once. It's gonna be savored, and I think that's the best way to possibly get it. So,
Everywhere, everything,
um,
everywhere, all at once.
yes, Michelle Yeoh is gonna make an appearance, but yeah,
No,
no.
I'm just
In all
kidding.
seriousness, I think that's pretty much it for this video. Besides the traders, that's pretty much all we're covering right now.
Yeah, this
Eventually,
is
we're gonna do
yeah,
other
like
shows, but
yeah, really, this is all we're covering right now is just the Traitors US season 2. But then obviously Survivor, Big Brother Canada, and then well, obviously when those are back, and then
also Deal or No Deal Island. Don't forget that.
No Deal Island, we'll see what that's about. And then we'll
Yes.
obviously do all of our season reviews soon, like House of Villains and
Yeah.
um Traitors Canada. We'll obviously do before
Hmm.
the next season.
Yeah.
What else?
I did want to mention there was a show that just came on Netflix recently. It's called The Trust. I think we're
Oh
gonna try it
yeah,
out. I don't think we're not gonna do it
yeah.
weekly, but we are definitely gonna watch that one at some point.
Yeah, that could be another fun season review. What else?
Yeah.
Squid Game, the challenge. Well, once we finish the other Squid Game,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
Surviving Paradise, buddy games, all that fun stuff. We need to do the
Yeah.
circle, the mole. We'll
Hmm.
probably just do those kind of when we're just like bored and we don't because we have so much we watch. We're definitely when we
Yeah.
have lots of time, we'll probably just do one at a time for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely want us to finish House of Villain soon.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, comment down below. Let us know what you guys thought of the Traitors season 1 overall, and how excited you are for season 2. I'm sure all of us reality TV fans are like just clamoring at the bit for it to be 9 o'clock tomorrow night, so we
I
can watch
know.
season 2. But yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and remember, couples who podcast together stay together. We will see you guys later.
Bye guys. Love you all.